Hello, Slicey Dicers. This is Brian with another knife review for you. Well, kind of a knife review. This knife has been reviewed to death, but I finally done and got one. This is my Spyderco Dragonfly. This is a sprint run version, but we're going to talk about the Dragonfly more just kind of in general than just this specific one. This is the V-Toku SUS410 steel sandwich blade version. I used to have the Endura in the same configuration. I will say this is still available a few places if you really search around. I did see Omaha Knives, which is a place that I'd never knew existed, but OmahaKnife.com. They still have it in stock. I think a few other places do too. When I searched for it, just kind of generic Google, I did find a few places that said they had it in stock. Not places I normally use, but a few places do have it. But anyway, the Dragonfly is one that I knew I was going to eventually have to get. I do like small knives like this. This is a very small knife. We'll get to that when we get to the specs, but you're only looking at, 2 1/4 inch blade. It's a small little knife. I'm a fan of knives this size, so I knew it was one I was going to have to eventually get. But as you guys know, I've made no secret about the fact in the Delica, I like some of the sprints, and I like some of the exclusives and things, but I think the regular one is pretty overpriced. They're like $74 now in VG10 steel, and I'm just not a fan of the way Spyderco heat treats their VG10. I've never had very good luck with edge retention on it. Can say the same thing about the Dragonfly. They're $61.75 for a standard Dragonfly. I think that is pretty overpriced for a knife with this size and this materials when you have the VG10. But some of the sprints like this was only $68. Very slight upgrade in price, but huge upgrade in the steel. The V-Toku's tool steel, it's super great edge retention. Came razor sharp, holds an edge really well. And then you have the SUS410 that sandwiched over it to make it not corrode. If you look at, I did a video a while ago when I had the Endura with the same thing. I intentionally forced patina the edge. It looked pretty cool. Not sure if I'm going to do that on this one or not. I haven't really decided. I've just been carrying it as is as a secondary, and it's been pretty cool. I actually do like it. I am very glad that I got one. I'll get into the specifics why in a moment. But again, I do feel the same way. There are some special Dragonflies that I think are worth the money. The VG10 plain old one, that's a hard sell for me. Actually, if I was going to buy a non-sprint one right now, I think I would get the Salt. The Dragonfly 2 Salt is with the H1 steel. They're like $66. I think that's probably the best buy out there right now for production ones. They also have a ZDP 189 one that's $87.75. Yeah, but ZDP 189 is pretty awesome steel. So, yeah, not sure if I go for that one or not, if I go that high. But the Salt 2 looks like a pretty good, or the Dragonfly 2 Salt looks like a pretty good buy. But let's do some specs and stuff. If you guys don't know, again, this is one of Spyderco's most ubiquitous models. It's been around for a very long time. Overall length, just 5.5 inches. Blade length, 2 1/4 inches. You have blade thickness, very, very slim, just 0.09 inches. And the weight is almost not enough to matter. 1.2 ounces on my scale, so a very, very light little knife. Let's do a few size comparisons here. I say I love small knives, and that's why I wanted to get this around to do for size comparisons to small knives, and then I realize I don't have a lot right now. It's not because I've fallen out of love with small knives. I'm just rotating stuff around so you guys have more interesting stuff to look at. So I've sold some of my small ones off lately. But we do have your Three Rivers Manufacturing Atlas. Very similar in overall size to that. This is one of my favorite small knives. Your CRKT Pilar, pretty similar in length to that. This is obviously a much lighter and less bulky knife in almost every other measurement. And then just a couple of your more standard, slip joints. It's another good thing to always compare these two. This is your Swiss Army Cadet. It's a little bit shorter even than that. And that one closed. And your Case Mini Trapper Again, still even just a little bit shorter than that. And you know what? Just for giggles, we're going to pull out a couple of the standards here. Yeah, just one, I guess. This is your Spyderco Para 3. So yeah, not a big knife at all. All the ones named after bugs, spoiler alert, are pretty small knives. This is the biggest of them, but still, as you can see, a pretty small knife. Why do I like it? I'm not going to do the full-on review on this because I said it's been done to death, but why do I like it? Why am I glad I have it? The ergonomics on this thing are just fantastic, which is unsurprising. Spyderco, they're very good at that. But for such a small knife, it fits my hands really well. As you can see, I have large size hand, skinny fingers, but as you can see, my two middle fingers are laid right there. Nice in that front choil. Still can get my whole pinky on it. It's just excellent. Excellent ergonomically. It's very, very comfortable. The wire clip works well. As you can see, it does not carry particularly deep, but it's not bad. It does fit fine, that like, you know, fifth pocket, watch pocket, change pocket, whatever you want to call it, on your jeans. That's mostly how I have been carrying it. It is very light. It is going to go through the wash probably because you're going to forget that it's there. So if you don't want your V-Toku to patina, make sure to put some Aegis or EDCI or you know, keep it oiled or something like that. Because I just, if you're a dumbass like me, it's going to wind up going through the wash. I will say, carry wise, also this is one of the cool, you know, like most Spydercos do. The pocket clip lands on the logo instead of on the bitextural FRN, which is really good. It makes it slide in the pocket a lot easier. Always like that nice touch. Don't know why nobody else does that. I don't understand why more companies don't do that. It's a nice place to put your logo, and it's functional, so you can't argue there. The other thing I like about it, man, this thing slices. As I said, it came razor sharp out of the box, and that V-Toku has been holding an edge super well. I haven't touched this at all. I've had it for, some time now. And yeah, it's a secondary, so it's not like I'm cutting acres of cardboard with it. But I haven't touched it, haven't stropped it, haven't anything, and it's amazingly sharp. Such thin blade stock. It's only about 17 thousandths behind the edge, which isn't, you know, mind-blowingly thin behind the edge, but it's pretty thin behind the edge, and the blade stock is so thin. It is an awesome little slicer. And other things I like about it, this is broken in extremely well. It's definitely one hand open, one hand closed. Works great. I really like this thing. I really do. In this configuration, for the $68, I think it's pretty good. I don't think I'd pay $62 for a VG10 one. I mean, I guess it doesn't. I guess having the VG10 doesn't matter if it's a bit. I don't like the Spyderco's VG10 because I find it to be a bit soft. Doesn't hold an edge that well. Okay, this kind of knife, does that matter as much? No, probably not. It probably doesn't matter at all. But because you're not going to use it so much that you're having to, you know, sharpen it constantly. It does sharpen up very well. It definitely does sharpen up very well. We'll take the same kind of razor edge that this thing takes. But just knowing that it's just that VG10 that I don't like, and it's $62 for, you know, fancy plastic and a very small amount of steel, that's always going to bother me. I would say if you want one of these, go for one of the sprints, and you can get it in oh my God, so many different flavors. And I'm just going to flick over here to look up, because I was no way I was going to remember. As I said, the Dragonfly 2 Salt, that's one that I would recommend right now, especially if you like the yellow on the handles. They have the standard one, you know, in black and orange and Zome, and then you have the ZDP 189, as I said, for like about $88. There's serrated ones. They have a hawk bill. They have a G10 for $110.50, but that still has the VG10 blade, and I don't think I'd go for that. They have stainless steel ones for $84.50 with some like printing on it, or $72.80 for the regular one. And then you also get the serrated in the stainless steel handles. All those are VG10 still, but yeah, Spyderco's VG10 isn't garbage, but it's for the price, I'm not a fan of it. I would say go find one of the sprints, buy the Salt one. get one of the special ones, and they are pretty special. It's definitely a very special design. Like I said with the Delica, I'm hoping for a Delica 5. I'm hoping for a Dragonfly 3 that is S30V, and I'd be fine with it for 60, $62. It was S30V. I'd probably be all right with that. I wouldn't be stoked about it because it's still, fancy plastic, but I'd be all right with it. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. And yes, another knife that you guys told me to get and you bugged me about, and I finally got, and I do like it. I should listen to you more often. I know. I've been Brian. Have a good one.